So I will start with my check-in. The most recent thing that was delivered to me, I don't know if it'd probably just be people who are in Omaha or Nebraska, but there's a fast food place called Runza, and they had a post on social media where you could win matching gray Runza sweatpants. And my fiance and I won those sweatpants. So they got mailed today. So my fiance and I now have matching Runza sweatpants. Picture will be coming soon. I'm going to make Riley put it on social media.
Very nice.
And I'll go around. We'll finish with Dave, but I'll go ahead and call out people as I see them on my screen to share their check-in. So Mike with Old Dominion.
Well, this will be a little bit embarrassing today. We had a delivery this afternoon of 30 rolls of toilet paper. So we feel very rich in our neighborhood. My search in the stores have come up empty the last couple weeks, and so we were happy to get the delivery today. My son was the one that spotted that for us and had it sent to us. So we feel on top of the world, and we're being a little cautious about it. We don't want to rush on our house from the neighbors.
That is pretty hilarious. Harry?
I think my wife got some new shoes for like the 5th time. So she's had a lot of packages coming every day.
Awesome. Jeremy?
I will mirror Harry in that I may or may not have ordered some new shoes because Adidas was having a heck of a sale online. I don't know if that was target marketing, then assume it was. And so that's what I had here this week.
Awesome. Is it Natalia?
Yes, it is. Natalia with Texas. Hey, y'all. My most recent delivery is these actually blue light filtering glasses, an absolute game changer. I'm no longer getting migraines at 2 p.m. and I can actually finish out the day. So it's great.
That is awesome. My latest prescription glasses, I got them with the light blocking, but I almost feel like I should just get some regular ones to wear with my contacts sometimes.
Either way.
All right. Yeah. John?
We got a dresser for our daughter Nora because we have a new baby coming in August, and the baby dresser moved into her room, and so we had to buy her a brand new dresser so she would be okay with getting rid of the old one to go back to the baby's room with the changing table. There's a whole thing. She loves it now, so we got a dresser.
That's awesome. Mackenzie?
HelloFresh box came last week, so I got 2 yummy meals in there.
We used to do a HelloFresh.
Yeah, I don't do it every week because it's not as cheap when you get all the 10 free meals or whatever. So it's just like something's good. I'm holding out for one meal. I can't wait for their Boom Boom Shrimp to come back, but it's been a while.
Nice. Brian, we're doing a 2-word check-in. What's the most recent delivery you've gotten?
Well, thanks for reminding me what it is because I came in late.
No worries.
I don't even know if I got anything. It's all my 3 daughters and my wife that do all that stuff. So I did order on Amazon this morning. So I chair my kids' school auction, and we postponed, and now we're going virtual next Friday. We're taking it live to YouTube. There was going to be a Roaring 20s theme, so it's me and my co-chair. So I ordered my Roaring 20s outfit on Amazon this morning because my mom told me I should do that before I forget, and I can't get it. But check it out. Check us out on YouTube. Make my television appearance.
I'll mark my calendar.
Yeah.
All right, Zach. Most recent delivery.
So I actually have my box here because it is full of Mizzou hats because they didn't arrive in time and they got sent to my house. So I have 5 Mizzou baseball hats in my house. They're literally right there.
Nice.
Everyone's going to start putting in their addresses so you can start mailing those out to all of us.
Yeah, so we might be the only baseball team next year to have promotional items. There you go.
Delana, do you have a recent delivery?
Oh my gosh, this is quite embarrassing, but I'm going to be really honest about it. So my 25-year-old son had been living here for about 8 weeks working from home, and he no more than got here and he broke a toilet seat in the bathroom in the basement. And so I have, 2 days ago, I got the third toilet seat. The first one, I ordered the wrong size. The second one, the cap on the back was broke. So 2 days ago, I got the new toilet seat and the bathroom is functioning again.
Nice. Grant, do
Now
you
you
have
just
a
need,
reason?
now you just need Mike to send you some of that toilet paper that you got.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You can team up. I got it.
And
We
congratulations to John with your second child on their way. Congratulations.
Thanks. I'm doing all the work.
I got 2 packages today, a DeWalt laser measuring tool, and it looks like my wife bought a Peloton, so her shoes
Oh
and
boy.
game.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Will you
Devin.
be using that?
Yeah, I'll probably jump on board.
Nice.
We got some masks from some company that we're sending to my daughter in California, beanies or something like that, and a bunch of plant markers. And I need to order a Surge Fitbit wristband because my wristband died a week ago. So that's
Be important.
real important.
All right, Philip.
Yeah, we got Nerf guns for my 4-year-old. So we got a ton of Nerf guns to have a birthday party in a couple weeks. So pretty stoked about that.
I love it. We have Nerf guns at our office. Excellent. And then I know we have someone dialed in via phone. And I can't recall what when you first joined, if you had shared your name.
Yeah, so I'm Sam. I'm with the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs baseball team. I was actually on a mascot appearance, so I'm driving home, so sorry for the call-in. But my latest delivery, so I actually adopted a dog during quarantine, and so I have just been buying all the things for her. So toys and bed and food and all the fun stuff that comes with getting a dog.
So do you have a BarkBox membership yet?
No, because so she's like a pit bull mix, so she just chews through literally everything. So I try and just get like cheap stuff that will at least last more than like 5 minutes. So we're not there yet, but I'm sure we will be soon.
Awesome.
Buffalo and elk horns. Buffalo and elk horns. I got a pity too.
Oh, really? That's a good note because it's a struggle to find anything that she won't destroy.
Or just get a bunch of cheap tennis balls. I have a German Shepherd, and just buy like the cheap bag, and you can get a new one every couple weeks, and you'll be good to go.
Hopefully you've got a tennis coach who's really nice.
Yes, that's the other.
That's the best.
Very nice.
That's awesome.
Excellent. We saved the best for last with Dave, and then he'll kind of kick us off with an intro, and then we've got 3 great topics for you. Building your audience, new revenue streams, and non-traditional events. So I will hand it over to Dave to share his check-in and kick us off, or take us away, actually.
Yeah. Sid, thank you very much. My delivery today was not necessarily a door delivery, but more so a driveway delivery. It was a giant dump truck dumping 12 yards of mulch in my driveway that I have a lot of work ahead of me. Luckily, I have 2 boys that I'll be giving them shovels to do the majority of the work. So looking forward to that. But thanks again for having me on and offering the host. I've been on these past couple times, and I certainly enjoy them, and always here for ideas and always looking for different thoughts on how to build and grow your audience. That's kind of what I do with my job, and I'll just kind of give you a little bit of my background. First of all, Natalia, I hope you don't leave the meeting right now, because I need to tell you that I am a graduate of Texas A&M University. Woo! And anyway, but nice to see you on here. Nice to see somebody from Texas. I miss the state. I used to live there all through 2000 until I moved up here in New Jersey to work for the Somerset Patriots, which is a minor league baseball team located in central New Jersey. Past jobs, I've been an intern with the Texas Rangers when I left school. I worked in Fox Sports selling direct TV packages. I worked at a horse race track called Lone Star Park in Grand Prairie, right out of Dallas, which is in group sales, and that was a fun time there. My current job, I'm been working for 20 years with the Somerset Patriots baseball team. We're an independent minor league organization that plays in the Atlantic League. So I know this From Now On group and audience is mostly colleges. So I think I'm one of the lone minor league affiliates that you all have. I know there's a couple of others, but I see a lot of colleges, which is great. I basically sell and manage over $1 million in sponsorship groups and season tickets, and I organize for marketing strategy. And my relationship to apps and From Now On, first of all, From Now On is our 4th app that we've had. I've been dealing with apps since 2011, and 2 of them went out of business. One of them was so bad with customer service and our success manager that I had to bail on them. So it's our first year with From Now On, and unfortunately we don't have games right now. Otherwise we'd be experiencing the greatness that the app will be able to provide with reward points and things like that. But I've been learning the framework and understanding how it works. It looks like a very great platform that I'm enjoying learning how to use it. And also big shout outs to Harry Rogers, our success manager, who's been outstanding with any questions that I've needed, and Jeremy Moore for good customer service and helping us launch this whole thing. So I've certainly enjoyed my experience so far with you all, and looking forward to growing with you. So the first topic here is kind of building your audience and how you build your fan base and capturing new fans to reach out to and to connect with. Sydney, I think we were gonna create a chat box or something like that, just like with the question, like how are you building your fan base? So maybe if there's anybody that wants to just kind of type something in, we can kind of address it.
Great point, Dave. Yeah, I forgot to mention, if anyone ever has any questions, obviously you can jump in and share, but if we're in the middle of, answering a question or something, you can drop them in the chat. So if you have any questions for Dave, I'll be monitoring the chat, so I'll make sure that those get answered. But yeah, like Dave said, if, just to keep the discussion flowing and all of that, jump in, share how you're doing things, so on and so forth.
So building an audience, it's sports, today it's just kind of beyond putting a ticket on sale and having people come out and enjoy an event. It's, social media has come into play, and there's, a whole lot of new ways to engage with people. Social media used to be just about the likes and the followers, but now it's like the new rule in sports fan acquisition is engagement. And what are you doing to engage with your fan base? So I remember when the social media, channels first started coming up, that's all I was concerned about. I'm like, oh, how many likes do we have? How many, all this sort of stuff. But then as you kind of go on with it, it's more so like, all right, well, what kind of reactions am I getting? What kind of likes am I getting? What kind of comments am I getting? Are people, actually engaging with our content, which, helps drive what type of content to put up. So that's something that we are certainly in tune with, is the engagement factor. Let's see, building a fan base is engaging with them and having them buy into your organization. So, what can you do to, what are you all doing to connect and build with your fan base? Anybody have any thoughts? Like creating.
You can kind of go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think you can kind of break this up too. So for any of you who, whether it's how, do you have any initiatives going on right now to kind of build your Twitter audience versus your, Instagram audience, versus if you have a mobile app, what are you doing? Do you have any initiatives or ways that, unique ways that you're looking to build that audience? So I think you can kind of break it up in those 2 or 3 different ways. But if anyone wants to jump in on either of those sides on how you're building that audience, don't make me call you out, because I will.
So, like ideas that, we're creating live content, contests, engagement elements, obviously social media, like everybody uses Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, I imagine. We're also kind of big on, my philosophy is just get out there as far as we can get out, and just anything we can use. So, we've developed a Pinterest platform, a LinkedIn, Yelp, TripAdvisor. We've created a TikTok account, but we haven't really had players to really do anything with it. So I don't know, is anybody using TikTok effectively?
We only use it for our mascot's Twitter account, our costume mascot, which I think is working well for us since he's comedic and he has a personality that we can focus on. I think some teams can definitely use a TikTok. I don't think it's necessary for everyone to try and force. So on that front, I think it's working well for us.
Yeah, so I had an accidental TikTok thing go well. So my daughter's a huge fan of one of our All-American cross-country runners. And so we went to his last indoor track meet, which turned out to be his last track meet of his career. And he's good, All-American, and he nuked everybody. And down the chute, he pointed at her as he went through the finish line. He was fine because he's a cross-country guy, and it was only a 5,000 meter. So he jumped the barricade, went up into the stands, gave her the race number. Adorable. And then for the kids' fun run, like she's 3. So she got around that third corner and was gassed and was terrified. And I was filming her, and I was like, oh, should I go help her? And he jumped in and ran the last little quarter with her. And I posted that on my personal TikTok. I have 44 followers. That has 35,000 views.
What?
Nuts. And so for those of you who aren't using TikTok, you don't need a whole lot of followers like you were talking about in the early goings of social media to make a big splash. Hop in on cultural campaigns like we always try to do with trends on other social media platforms, is try to integrate our brand into trends, leverage your dance team. In some of those viral dances, use your pep band to record your audio or theme song for your school, your fight song. Some of those have gone really well. I've seen on TikTok for different schools. Obviously, the mascot, playing pranks with the mascot. Any coach jokes are always a big thing. We started a project. We got shut down because of COVID. We were working on a fails package of some of our athletes getting, in some funny predicaments or goofy faces that we caught on film that we were accruing all year, but it got lost in trying to get everything wrapped up for the year. But TikTok is a great way to get a lot of traction with fans. But I want to, you started off with the super hard question. So when you talk about building your audience, are you talking about new fans or engaging your current fans?
I mean, I think it's both. You're trying to build a fan base, so it's you gotta find a way to engage with those that are currently there, and then you gotta figure out a way to onboard some new fans to follow you.
So I know one thing. Sorry, I know one thing that we're doing over here in Maryland, because I know obviously we're in the same league, we're kind of working with the same situations right now. But one thing that we're doing is we started this thing called our mobile community celebrations. So we bring our mascot as well as our on-field host, Ron. His name's Ron, the tie-dye guy. And we go around our area to people that I've scheduled for their kids that are graduating high school or 8th grade or birthdays or anniversaries or anything like that. And so we kind of drive all over the place pretty much every day and show up with the mascot and show up with Ron. And that's kind of how we're focusing on engaging right now, is we're growing our fan base by doing this because everyone gets super excited. It's a fun little way to throw in some of our sponsors as well. So that's kind of what we've been doing the past couple weeks. And that actually took off way more than I thought it would. So we've been booked for probably like the next like month, just solid. Every single day we have like at least 2 or 3 like planned. So that's kind of been fun.
That's cool. Sam, I saw one of those posts that you all did, going to a kid's house and doing a kind of a birthday surprise to them and giving them a package of stuff. So I thought that was a cool idea.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of our like giveaways and stuff that we were gonna use for the season, and a lot of them have already passed and probably aren't gonna be used. So we're like, well, they were gonna be like fun little freebies anyway. So we've been kind of gifting them to like seniors and birthdays and stuff like that.
Cool. But how do you sign up for something like that?
So the way that we did it was we just kind of did a press release about it, and we put like my cell phone and my email, and people just started texting me, calling me, emailing me, and then we also just tried to join all of the Facebook groups that were popping up that were like adopt a senior in this county or like 2020 graduates from this high school. And so we joined all those Facebook groups and kind of just posted the press release and was like, hey guys, if you're interested in doing a celebration with Pinch and Ron, we'd love to be there. So I think we ended up joining like 10 different Facebook groups. We did the whole press release. So like the day after, I think I had like probably 100 emails just instantly.
Wow.
With people like getting excited. So it definitely hit a lot harder than I thought. We were expecting to just do like a couple and just hope that it kind of got a little bit of coverage, but so it actually worked out really well.
Very nice. How about reviews? Do you all invest time in trying to get reviews, like on Facebook, Google, Yelp, TripAdvisor, any other things like that to generate that kind of information? We're pretty, I feel review marketing is very strong, and we're always asking. In fact, we have a page up on our app to do reviews there, and I think we have 4.6 or 4.7 out of 5 stars on those channels that are pretty good. A lot of good comments and stuff. So that's been something that's been helpful for us.
That's a little area. I thought about that, Dave. I appreciate you sharing that idea.
Yep, thank you. Email marketing obviously is a huge way to connect with fans, and we use Constant Contact. I don't know, does everybody else use that or any other platforms? I've found Constant Contact to be so simple and so easy to organize and create, and we've been doing lots of different campaigns with that. You can do poll questions on there. Obviously linked to Google Forms if you wanted to run a contest or things like that. So that's been, we have a database of about 41,000, and we are frequently trying to capture email addresses. We have it on our website, and at the ballpark we're asking for email addresses just so we can constantly keep in contact with our fan base so we can continue to market to them.
That was going to be my question, Dave, was, just feedback in general, where are people finding from their fans in general that they're getting the best feedback from them? And maybe I don't know how often you're asking fans. Is it after each game, depending on sport? Is it, now that it's a little slower, it seems like there's a lot of addressable fans. And so, I don't know what type, it depends throughout the season, throughout the year, what types of questions you're asking as well. But just in general, is there anyone on this that has seen one way, shape, or form or one direction that they're getting feedback better than maybe others? And I know it depends on timing and questions and things of that nature too.
Are you saying like on a platform or?
Yeah, just that, or like you said, marketing. Like if when you send out those the email marketing campaigns, where do you send those out? What works the best, or what's the most effective, I guess, as far as ROI?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I was going to talk about this a little bit later, but one of the things that we've been doing as a new feature is we've rebranded and rebuilt our team store. We've shifted over to a Shopify platform, which if you're looking to rebrand your merchandise and put it on a great e-commerce solution, Shopify is amazing. But I'll create a featured product e-blast that, links in those Shopify elements into the email. And we'll send that out to 41,000. And then, immediately I get notifications on my phone that we're making sales all of a sudden with the emails that have been pushed out. Anytime if it's during the season and we're have a fireworks show, all of a sudden, we're pushing out a firework message, we're definitely seeing an uptick in tickets. We know people love fireworks, and, the email campaign is just another way to just broadcast our message and reach out to our fan base. We obviously, like you're promoting a game, you're putting it on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all those things. But, unless you're buying ads, it's obviously you're getting suppressed probably quite a lot, and your whole fan base doesn't necessarily see it. So we're thinking of just like an overall rounding campaign, just to be able to just distribute our message in a lot of different places to, make sure it gets hit by somebody. Press releases, obviously, having a good connection and with press releases and a lot of these local sites have the ability of you just being able to upload your own press release on your own. You don't have to wait for like a reporter to write a story or anything like that. We do a lot of uploading of press releases to local news organizations around us. What about postcards or special mailings? Does anybody do any of those anymore? We've tried a couple times, and I really can't say that they've been super successful. So I don't know. I don't know if we're going to continue with that stuff.
It's actually kind of funny. Our about 80% of our season ticket renewals come through the mailing that we do. That just might be our fan base being older and stuff like that, but definitely pretty interesting that's still the way they're kind of going about getting their season tickets. Maybe they're just used to doing it that way. But things are going to change this year. We're going, mobile only tickets at events and things like that. So, people are going to definitely have to adapt.
Yeah.
Grant, is there anything that you're going to do, in lieu of that? And I guess it's hard to say, because again, you're supposed to be contactless and mailing's hard, but I didn't know if you guys ever included anything with your season tickets, like kind of like a thank you to them, that you guys are still going to try and do it all.
That's a good question. That's not my department, so I'm not completely sure on that. But yeah, we usually don't give. We have a lot of season ticket holders, so it's not necessarily that they get a gift unless they're part of the fundraising group, which makes up a good amount of them. But I guess that's TBD. Everything's TBD right now.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
That manager. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mackenzie. No, go ahead.
Something that my ticket manager and I were talking about yesterday is he's working with our boss about if we're going to go all online or like digital and what that's going to look like. And we have a very old fan base as well. And our ticket manager, is very worried that like our fans will get very upset that they won't have like a physical ticket or something like that. Like we had a lot of weird things happen with basketball when we went to cards and everybody. So he's worried about that, but he's talked to some other schools and they're going the route, instead of an actual, like a physical ticket book like we usually do, is sending like one commemorative ticket for the year. That you don't take it anywhere, you don't scan it, but you still have, like, some people collect tickets and create scrapbooks or whatever. So keeping that commemorative piece, but still it's all digital, and hoping that will help ease the pain of like, you don't get that pretty booklet with the schedule and all of that stuff anymore, because that's something we've been doing for years. So TBD if we're going to do that, but that's something we're looking into, and he's hearing from other ticket managers, especially in our conference and everything, that they might be doing.
One of the exciting features that from now on is getting ready to push out is the digital ticket card on the app, right? It's coming in the new update.
Yeah, some of those went out this morning.
Oh, very nice. So
check your app updates.
All right. So I'll be looking forward to seeing that. But to be able to push fans, that's just another reason for them to download your app, so they can kind of have their tickets right there on the app. You just open that up and there's a ticket. So that'll be a nice, convenient feature. We also just couple of quick things on connecting with fans. We have a chat feature on our website called Captivated, and it's just, you know, one of those simple chat features that, you know, will go to anybody in our office. It's a really slick, dynamic feature. So anybody that goes there, a little message pops up and asks if they need help with anything, and it goes to one of our reps, and we're able to, you know, communicate with them very quickly. Which we can also do texting on that too. And I haven't really thought about mass texting. I don't know if we're there yet to do something like that, but we do have that ability. Has anybody ever done a mass text to a fan base? No. Yeah. And then of course, you know, with everybody having a phone in their hands, just having the app, the From Now On app, you know, on there is, I think, is just a real key feature to be able to communicate with fans, because you know, people's lives are on their phones, and so we, you know, I want to be in that space too, and I want to be able to push notifications out and run contests and promotions. So that's where, and, you know, I'm a firm believer in having a good, strong app to be able to give to our fan base. I don't know if I should go through this next question about how are you capturing new app downloads. Is that something that you feel like I should discuss, or does not everybody here have the app?
I'd say if there's any questions from anyone on, you know, app downloads and kind of how others kind of, you know, for those of you who do have a mobile app, kind of how do you measure, you know, your success as far as gathering new users? You know, do you kind of do you really focus on downloads? I know John at Moorhead in the past, you know, it's always about the active users as he rolls back around. So new downloads is obviously really great. And for those of you who have a mobile app, whether it's with us or not, kind of, you know, is it the downloads and building your audience, or is it more about, you know, the quality of the fan that has the app? You know, as far as how much time they're spending in it, and you know, how active they're being and how many sessions they're recording. But I'd be interested to hear from, you know, and I'm sure Dave, with this question that he had formulated, just to hear kind of how you measure your audience from an app perspective and value.
Well, since you outed me, yes, I do value engagement rate. I believe an engaged audience is the best audience. I mean, you can have 1 million followers and only 3 of them care. How valuable is that? So I really try to value engagement rate and getting that as high as possible. Active users per week, active users per month. Just trying to make sure that the app is adding value to their experience. When we talk about engagement, you know, this is a tool that we use to engage our fans heavily, from check-ins, from, you know, all the reward side of things, just from the live content that we run through it. It's our primary vehicle. But, you know, I think at the core, it's just understanding our fans as much as possible, I think is, I've literally been sitting here dwelling on that first question about how to grow our audience. I mean, that's just the $1 million question that we would all get raises if we wrote a book on it, right? And so, like, you've in some of the new things that we're doing, just from experience of trying to, what we call the name game, is just trying to get more names into the funnel. If you want to call it a funnel, some people call it a pinwheel now, or flywheel, but with the customer centric, and just trying to, how do we get more emails so that we can start an email campaign? Well, if you don't have an automated email piece to start to keep constant contact, what's the point of getting emails? So you got to kind of get the names, get the emails. Okay, what are you doing to get emails? Every time we have a sign up box at the front door for a prize, I'm getting an email and an intern's putting it into a database. Every time I can collect an email, great. That sucks for that intern, and they frickin' hate it, and they will quit soon. And so what we're migrating towards is trying to, what are some of those digital ways that we can get an email, and how much is that worth to a fan to give up? So, like, how much would it cost you to give to you, for you to give me your email? How much? Is it a $5 t-shirt? Is it, you know, something, everybody has their comfort level with giving up that information. And so, you know, I think you and I talked a little bit about this vendor that we're going to work with called Squad. I think Sydney and I talked a little bit. I'll put it in the chat here. Oh, I just sent it to Sydney. Oh, Sydney.
I remember my first Zoom.
Yeah, me too. At least I'm not on mute. So in Squad, it does digital scratchers and video board trivia, video board races. And so you sign up with your email, and if you win a prize, it emails you the prize, and we get to collect all the emails. And so you work with sponsors to do like $1 off or BOGO coupons and load that up, and we get emails because of it. And that will go into our marketing queue for, you know, people who are engaged but might not have gone to a game yet. For people who are going to games, who are engaged, we're really working contests and drawings next year with the app. Checking in and using, basically trying to make every check-in count, so that when you check into any game, there's, you know, we're talking about bi-weekly or monthly drawings, and every time you check in is another entry that you can increase your chances to win. So that every time you check in, you have a chance to win experiences, game balls, game jerseys, prizes from sponsors, grand prizes here and there. Just trying to make sure that every check-in counts on our app, incentivizing the app, saying, hey, exclusive things are only going to come through push notifications, so make sure you leave those on so that we can continue to message them throughout the app. Random Teams call. And so trying to get some of those names, have the planned email campaigns to migrate them, you know, into a ticket buyer, a season ticket buyer, donor, trying to, you know, just be human with them too, giving away prizes as much as possible to engage our sponsors in digital platform, and our current fans, making sure that every time they show up, it counts. And then, you know, we're trying to do things like national check-ins for game day now that we might not have the attendance in person that we had in the past. And so how can we, you know, engage those viewers at home through the broadcast as well, and, you know, have them play trivia together, integrating as much social media into our game day as possible, because we do our own productions. And so that's, I know not everybody has that scenario, but it's really awesome to work those personal pieces into our own show, our own streams, and broadcasts like that. So, and it's just trying to find, you know, where they're at. Trial stuff, you know, we do a lot of Groupon. We have Save Coin in town. We try to do as much trial stuff, group sales, you know, just hitting those group sales hard for people who might not go, and just trying to get a group to come from a big business that has a lot of employees, and just kind of making sure that their experience is fantastic. You all know that stuff. I'm not telling you anything new, but it's just understanding the fans and what they value. And
John, you mentioned, you mentioned, you know, interns inputting email addresses, that constant contact, and really any email platform, all those lists, you can just upload them in there, and now there's your list, and now you've got something to get started with. And then there's lots of other ways to filter out, you know, put it on your website, you know, sign up for your e-blast and all that stuff.
Yeah, we're doing this. We're looking at a new vendor for that. So Constant Contact, Emma, MailChimp, and just trying to figure out what's an easy way that we can directly, you know, even our website with Sidearm Sports, they have some email stuff within that, which I see a few Sidearm clients on here as well. You know, how much we leverage that, because we put a new alerts button on our brand new website launch that's down here. And so you can, you know, tap on that and sign up for email notifications for your team and stuff like that. So that's an effort for us on all of our platforms to start gathering those names, those contacts, and starting to message them as much as possible. We've kicked around, like you said, a text campaign. So whether you like him or not, I'm a Gary V fan. And for those of you who don't know who Gary Vaynerchuk is,
he's great.
He puts out a lot of stuff about how to create content and how to engage. Big on wine text is his deal. So something like merchandising, which we don't do a whole lot of merchandising on site. If you're doing merchandise sales, I can see the text piece going off for promotions, for game day promotions. You know, sign up to be first to know, to sign up to maybe compete, you know, with some of those text things. That's been successful for us when we've done things with athletes. For a student athlete engagement, texting has been the only way we really get them to engage and sign up for stuff. But, you know, I'm curious. There's just trying new things in a new normal on top of what we used to try to do, and what's going to live on and what's going to change. And It's
Yeah, I
it's
think-
a good world.
Go ahead. Sid.
Yeah, and I think that's great. And I know we're coming up on time, so I understand, or we've passed the time. So if anyone needs to jump off, I totally understand. But one of the things that you brought up, John, and that I think Sam talked about too, is that made me think of one of the topics that Dave was chatting about as far as non-traditional events. So, having those nationwide check-ins or having those kind of events where people reach out to you to say, hey, come by and do something special for this birthday or something like that. Is there anything else that others are doing as far as non-traditional events? With our traditional events kind of taking a hiatus right now, I've heard it a lot. Everything's TBD right now. But what are some non-traditional events that you're doing, kind of like those nationwide check-ins, or going to people with mascots and stuff? Or is anyone else doing some other things like that as far as non-traditional events?
Yeah, I mean, with our baseball season is supposed to be underway right now. We can't do really too much of anything, and especially in New Jersey, it's a lot worse than the rest of the country. Where, I think we can gather as most of 25 people or 15 people at the most right now. So it's, we're far from that ability to do that. But we're gonna dip our toe in the water and try something new. We're gonna do some drive-in movies. We're gonna do that June 12th and June 13th. We've got a company that's gonna come in and set up a movie theater in our parking lot, and we'll sell tickets. I think it's like $25 for a carload or something like that to come in. I think we're going to play Sandlot or something, and have everybody stay in their cars. Obviously, we're going to try drive-in fireworks. I've seen a couple of different teams around the area here have done that, and they've completely sold out of tickets on that. So it's kind of showing, while you have to stay in your car and sit there for hours, waiting for fireworks to show up. There's a demand for it, and it's showing that people are dying to get out of their houses and go out and do something. We've also done like a virtual event. We've done a Facebook Live every Tuesday where we're on live for about an hour with one of our players and just having a kind of a community chat session that has worked out really well. We're looking at some graduation ceremonies and some dance companies have even reached out to me looking to do something in our parking lot or like a drive-by dance thing or something like that from some of our dance studios. So who knows?
We are working on, so I don't know if I've said this on one of these calls before, so if I have, I apologize. Anyone might have heard it already, but we have a thing called Purple Passion, which kicks off our fall season. All of our teams come, the community comes, we have obstacle courses, but we partner with the Chamber of Commerce here. And we are looking at doing a drive-through version of it. And the chamber just did a drive-through. We have a thing called Toad Suck Days. I know that sounds really weird. Just look it up. It's fun. They have toad races. It's great. But it was canceled this year. So they spread out Toad Suck Days across multiple weekends, and they did a drive-through nature and science festival. So they had like a semi that was an aquarium. I don't know, but I went into the office this day, and the line, there was at least 300 cars in line at one point. Like, it was insane because people are like, I'll sit in a car for an hour for my kid just to drive through for 5 minutes because it's something to do. So they had a bunch of their partners there. There was tons of people from the community came out with their businesses, and it's the same concept that we're wanting to do with the chamber who put this on. So we're hoping that it works out because a lot of our sponsors come to it, and we're going to be hopefully giving out our posters at that point. We'll see if that's something we're going to give out, but we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping that we have as long of a line or not longer than Toad Suck Days. So
good luck to you.
We have our basketball awards event, Zoom event in about 10 minutes. So we've moved our basketball event, and we're gonna do that tonight. We've done a lot of different Zoom events. We're looking at this fall, not knowing what's going to happen with football and what percentage of our season ticket base might or might not be able to get in the stadium. Trying to talk about what kind of virtual ticketing can we set up if there's half of our season ticket holders can't get in for this game. How do we give them that game experience in some way? So we're trying to come up with strategies in that regard.
I know it's a new feature, but the Facebook watch parties is kind of a new thing. Has anybody done anything like that? Watch parties around some content. I know probably end of year banquets. Anybody have success with a watch party?
Yeah, we have. We've been doing, not necessarily like, I've seen some teams do like a former game and they'll have it, throw it up on live and allow people to watch and comment and stuff. We've done it more just like our radio broadcaster and a video of our player where they're sitting there just having a conversation, kind of like we're doing right here, and allowing the chat feature to be up and running and let people just kind of communicate and they'll ask questions that are coming through. And I mean, we've gotten 5,000-6,000 impressions, I think, for some of these things, and they've been pretty good. So it's been a feature we've been continuing.
I'll jump in on this point as well. We haven't done any watch parties per se on Facebook, but I know y'all have probably heard about the Texas virtual tailgate, so I'm not going to beat the dead horse on that. But as a portion of that, Longhorn City Limits is a typical piece of our pregame environment at football where free concerts, local bands, fans can come watch. So for our virtual tailgate, we live streamed some local artists. We had a whole slew of them for an hour and a half on YouTube and on Facebook, and it was really successful. I don't have the engagement numbers and viewership off the top of my head, but a lot of people tuned in for just about the whole duration of it. And to that point, and just the potential for watch parties, that has gotten us thinking a lot about, okay, what else can we do with a feature like this, especially if football season does look different. If we can't have the same pregame environment that has been so successful, can we tailor some of these virtual events to pregame, transfer those over? How can we adapt them? So that's not super concrete, but it's gotten us thinking for sure.
We've also kind of came up with something new too. It's not new, but new for us. But we've created a podcast, and we've been able to put that podcast up on platform. But so we'll do an hour show on that and sell sponsorships towards that, and that's been pretty cool too. We've just done 3 episodes so far.
We're actually doing a live podcast at 5:30 tonight with our student athletes, doing a Q&A with our athletic director. And then we'll stream that on Facebook. And we're trying to see if watch parties was a thing or not for something like that for the public to want to chime into. I don't know if we're going to get athletes to go there, first of all. So I didn't text them this time. So we'll see. But one other thing that we just talked about for homecoming planning in the future, the parade kind of can't happen the way it used to. And so we've been kind of watching like how different smaller schools are doing like graduation parades where the fans are the parade and drive through the experience, kind of like, Mackenzie was talking about, like how can we reverse engineer the parade that, our fans are used to and look forward to in a different way and make them feel special at the same time and engage them and make them the floats and things like that.
That's awesome. And I really enjoy our discussion that we're having. So I really hate to kind of start to cut us off here. And of course, please feel free to continue if people want to stay on and continue to chat. I should be showing a PowerPoint image for you guys all now. But just wanted to share with you all, please register for our upcoming dates. Our next one, so in 2 weeks, we've got Brian Morgan, who is with us on this call. He represents Marquette University. I know he does a lot with their ticketing office. And then after that, we've got John Wefking, who is on with us today. So you could get some more fill of all of his great ideas, and I know he always has a lot to share. But just wanted to, before everyone jumps off, as I know we're over our time, wanted to thank all of you so much for joining us. I think the fact that we've gone over, I think this is one of our longest ones, just shows that these topics are valuable, and we've taken some really great tangents with discussion. But just wanted to make sure to share with you all who you can expect for our upcoming ones, and to make sure that you register. I know we post on social media, so follow us there as we continue to announce moderators and sign up.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Sydney.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, everybody.
Big thanks to you, Dave.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.